everybody and welcome to ABE Live, your microbiology rendezvous. I am 𝗖𝗵𝗽𝗀, Communication Manager at ABE, and today I am with Ines. Hello Ines.
Hello Sylvain, hello everybody.
Ines, it's your first online session. How do you feel?
Yes, it's my first. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm sure that you will be able to make me comfortable.
Yeah, don't worry. Maybe you want a cup of tea?
No, maybe we can focus on the live.
Yeah, sure. So first, maybe you can just introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Ines Ahmed. I'm a product manager here at 𝗖𝗵𝗽𝗀𝗃, and I'm in charge of the sample preparation range.
Okay, so that's a really good thing because today, as you know, we are going to talk about sample preparation. So first, we will see what are the standards in sample preparation. We will have a feedback from a user, and then, of course, we will do some hands-on with our brand new range of products for the sample preparation, so the UP range. So just before we start, I will remind you what's going to happen. I will ask questions to Ines, but the interesting thing is that you can also ask questions. You have a chat box just to the right of the video where you can directly send your questions. We have Bertin, which is online, and he can answer directly to your question. And of course, at the end of the online session, we will do a time of questions to answer all the questions. So feel free to ask and don't hesitate. And just before we start, if you like this session and if you want to see more content about microbiology, you can, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, so let's go.
Okay.
Ines, first question. So as we said, today we are going to talk about sample preparation, but finally, that's just one step. Can you explain the whole microbiological analysis process in the food industry?
Yes, sure. So in the food industry, the microbiological analysis, the objective is to detect the presence of microorganisms, for example, microorganisms that can be pathogenic. So the idea is to, first of all, collect a sample of a matrix of a sample of different variety of things. Actually, it can be, for example, raw materials, milk, meat. It can be also prepared dish. So depending on your matrix, but still you need a representative sample. Then this sample, you will go to our next step, which is the dilution. And this dilution, you will do it with a diluent that is a culture media specific for the microorganism that you are looking for. Then after the dilution, you go to the homogenization, with the blending step. And after this blending step, depending on your application, you can take a part of the sample and place it in a petri dish to go to incubation. The incubation will be done at a specific temperature during a specific duration. And after this incubation, you will be able to analyze your results doing the enumeration. With this enumeration, you will be able to define the initial concentration that you had of this microorganism in your initial sample.
Okay. And concerning the dilution and let's say blending part.
Blending part, yes.
Does those steps only concern the food industry?
No, for the step that we are focusing on today, it's not only for the food industry. You can find this step also in the cosmetics industry or in the pharma industry or even for animal health. The objective remains the same, Sylvain, is still to detect the presence of microorganisms.
And is it based on standards?
Yeah, there is different standards that guide these procedures. Two mainly. The first one is the ISO 7218, and in these standards, it talks mainly about the equipment, their usage, and how to ensure their performance. So if we take, for example, the first part, the dilution, the ISO 7218 indicates us that you need to use gravimetric dilutors, and that the gravimetric dilutors are equipment that have a precision scale coupled with a mechanism to dispense the diluent that you use to do the dilution. Because it's a precision scale, in the standards, it is specified that it should be on a plane level and that it should be away from vibration. So this is for the first step, the dilution. And for the blending part, the standard specifies that you can use a blender and that this blender you can set the duration of the blending and the strength of the blending.
Okay, and what about the other standard?
So for the second standard that we are looking for is the ISO 6887, and this one will be mainly for the method of analysis, especially for the dilution. It is specified in the standards that you should take a representative sample, as we said earlier, and that this sample most of the time is 10 grams or 25 grams with a tolerance of 5%, and that it has to be diluted to the tenth with a tolerance of 2% in the dilution.
And now, what are the different methods used to make a dilution?
So for the dilution step, you have a different method. The first one will be the manual method. In this method, you take your sample and you put it on a scale, in the precision scale. And with the weight of this sample, you need to calculate the volume of diluent that you will pour on the sample to obtain your dilution. So it's a fastidious method. It's also not very comfortable because you have to lift your bottles and pour the diluent on your sample, and it can take time. The second option will be to use a gravimetric dilutor, so to go with the automatized solution. And in this method, with the gravimetric dilutor, you just need to put your sample on your dilutor, and it will dispense and automatically calculate the right volume to achieve your dilution with the good ratio.
What are the benefits of the automation?
So with the automation, you have several benefits. First of all, we just said that you have an automatic calculation of the diluent to be dispensed, and so it led to the standardization of all your dilution. It's always done the same way, so your result and your dilution is more accurate, so you gain in accuracy. The second point is the comfort of the user. With the dilutor, you have more ergonomy. Everything is automatized. You don't need to lift the bottle, so you avoid the musculoskeletal disorders, for example. And the third benefit would be the speed. Because it's all automatized, you have a gain in time.
Okay. And so once the sample has been diluted, what happens after?
So after the sample has been diluted, you need to go through a step of homogenization, as we said. And it's important to blend the sample, because if you don't do this step, then what you are looking for, the microorganism, might not be found within your sample for the step afterward. So if you want to have reliable results, you need to go through this step.
And how can you perform this blending step?
So same way as the dilution, you can adapt more or less manual technique to do methods to do these steps. So, for example, you can find a kitchen mixer in laboratories, or also a mortar and a pestle that we find a lot in non-sterile pharma, for example, for pills. This is some way to do this blending method. But there is also an automated way with the blender, for example. And with this blender, you just need to put your sample within the equipment, and it will automatically do the blending without any effort from the operator.
And once again, what are the benefits of the automation for this step?
So when you automatize this blending step, the same way as dilution, you will gain in standardization. The blending process will always be the same, and so all your samples will always be blended the same, so you have more reliable results. Also, we said that there is no effort from the operator, so in terms of comfort and ergonomy, of course, it will be way better for the laboratory. And then, because it's done by an equipment, it's way much faster, so you gain in time again.
Okay, thank you, Ines. So that's the theory. Now let's practice.
Yeah.
So today's online session is a bit special because we are presenting you have a brand new range of device for the sample preparation. So the DILUWEL UP, MIXWEL UP. Let's go. Let's start with the DILUWEL UP. So if you arrive in your lab and you have some dilutions to do, you have the DILUWEL UP. What do you do?
Okay, so I can show you by introducing you to the new DILUWEL UP. So, Sylvain, as you may know, the DILUWEL has been around in the laboratory all over the world for almost a decade now. So what we have done is actually to take all the good part of the DILUWEL and to upgrade it to this new and evolved version. So for my dilution, the first thing that I will do is to bring the pump closer to install my tubing set.
Okay, the pump is not fixed to the diluter.
No, Sylvain. So, as I said earlier, the diluter is a precision scale, sorry. And because it's a precision scale, the ISO 7218 told us that it needs to be away from vibration.
Yes.
So, having deported pump, it allows us to remove the vibration from directly being next to the scale. So, we respect the standard this way.
Okay.
So after that, I will install my nozzle. So this is, I introduce you the finger stop nozzle. So if you want maybe to have it. So this nozzle was designed specifically to avoid cross-contamination. The idea is to really prevent all the touching after the mark, after the ball.
Okay.
So you can see that naturally, you will not put your hand after this mark.
Yeah.
Can I take it back?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Okay. So I just need to put it on my nozzle holder, right here. And I'm ready to begin my dilution. So, sorry, I just...
I can take it.
Thank you. Thank you, Sylvain. So, we are here, we put our pump, it's installed, we have our nozzle. Now we can go with our bag, our sterile bag. So we install it in the bag holder. And then as you can see, very easily I installed it and it's open towards me thanks to the patawel. So you can avoid all the, the sticky tack that you can find in the laboratory. It's very clean and it opens the bag very easily. Yeah. Now I have my bag on my DILUWEL. I put my sample. So here it's a carrot for me.
Very nice carrot.
It's a nice carrot. I put my sample and I can see the weight on the screen, but also here on the high display of the DILUWEL.
Why the DILUWEL UP it's turned green?
So it's green because we said earlier that in the ISO 6887, we have some tolerance in our range of the sample weight, right? And the DILUWEL is telling us if we are indeed in this range. We know that we are in this range because it turned green, so we know that we can launch our dilution. So I launch my dilution. I can see that the head is activating and that my diluent is dispensing. So I have the weight information here at the head level, and I know that I finish my dilution once it turns back green. So all the information are on the high display. And if I want to know more about what happened during my dilution, I can see in my screen the sample weight, the initial sample weight, and I can see that my tolerated maximum deviation is 0.91%. So I'm well within my range, so my dilution is okay.
Okay.
Then we move that.
So we've just made you just made a dilution, and for that you have only pressed one button.
Yeah.
How is it possible?
So Sylvain, is very simple. The DILUWEL is conceived, as I told you earlier, for the operator, for the user. So when you turn on the DILUWEL, the first screen that you see, the home screen, is directly in a working menu. So as soon as you are in this screen, you can choose your program, select it, and right away you can launch your first dilution directly.
So I guess everything is customizable.
Yeah, it's very customizable to your application, to the laboratory application. If we look into the screen, you will see here the program menu where I can create a new program. So if you're okay, we can launch, we can create my next program that will be for a salmon.
Okay.
I want to know if this salmon has listeria, so I need to prepare this sample.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So I'm in my program menu and I will create a new program. So I click on the plus. I choose the name of my program. So as I told you, my program will be for listeria. So I call it listeria. And then now I can choose my dilution method. So here we do a dilution to the 10th, but you can do other mode with the DILUWEL. I could do, for example, a gravimetric dose. In this case, the DILUWEL will just dispense a specific volume that I would define without taking into account the weight of the sample. The other mode that we have is the sample weighing. In this case, the DILUWEL is just a simple precision scale with the traceability. So let's go back to dilution because this is what we are doing today. And I will choose my media. For this analysis, I will need to use Fraser media. So I go to the next screen. And here on this screen, I will choose my dilution rate. So I see that we are 1 to the 10th, so we are actually okay. We don't need to move that. And I see that I can choose to deliver or not a pre-dose. So pre-dose actually is a mode that is useful for certain type of matrice. In some application, it is specified in the standards that you need to dispense the diluent before the sample. In this case, you can choose here to dispense a part or all the diluent before your sample. This is not our case, so we can keep it at 0%. I go to the next screen, and here I can choose my different limits, so that I'm sure to stay in the standards that I follow in my lab. So I will put as a minimum mass 25 grams, and I have as a maximal mass 26.5. My tolerance that I want is 2%, so I know that the DILUWEL will inform me if I'm not within this range. So I can validate my program, and we are back in the program menu, and I just need to select my program that I just created, and right away I can begin a new dilution.
So you have to do this every day?
No, actually, Sylvain, you have to do it only during the installation of the equipment. When your equipment is installed, you define your program based on your application. And if your lab evolves afterwards and you want to add more program, we just seen that it's very easy to set up a new one. So you can create a new one, of course, as you wish. But once it's created, you don't have to do it every time.
Great. So here you use Fraser media. Mm-hmm. What do I do if I have several media to use?
So if you have several media to use, on the DILUWEL, you have 4 different ports to plug 4 different pumps. So you can actually use 4 different media at the same time. Okay.
And other question, can you create a turbo mode by using 2 pumps head, for example?
It could be done. It's a very interesting question. Indeed, Sylvain, you could do that, but actually you don't need to do that. Because the dilute pump on the DILUWEL, the pump head is performant and it can manage up to 8 milliliters tubing set, 8 milliliters diameters. So with this flow rate that is higher, it goes way faster. So you gain in time without having 2 pumps. So to give you an example, to be more clear, if we take this 25 grams diluted to the 10th in a normal classical tubing set of 6.4 milliliters, it will last 12 seconds. But with the 8 milliliters tubing set that we can do with the DILUWEL UP, you will have only 8 seconds to do your dilution. Okay, so it's very fast.
Yeah.
And no need to have 2 pump head. You don't need to manage, the double tubing set that is complicated to clean, etc., and can be expensive.
Okay. Are there any interesting features for the users?
Yeah, actually, I'm happy that you asked that because I wanted to show you the new productivity tools that we included in the DILUWEL UP. So if we go back to the equipment, we can see here that there is a menu that is the productivity tools. So there is 4 options to be activated or not, and I can introduce you to them. So the first one is the auto tar. So when this option is activated, it will automatically tar when you put your bag on your bag holder, so you don't need to press the button. So it's one press less to the dilution. Then you have the pre-weighing. So the pre-weighing is for laboratories that are organized with the sample weighing before the dilution. So in some laboratory, at the dilution station, the operator receives the bags with the samples already weighted to be diluted. So in this case, when you activate this option, it will automatically remove the weight of the bag. So you don't need to worry about that. Then the third option is the auto start. When this option is activated, as soon as you put a sample that is in the right range that you define, then the dilution will automatically, your program will automatically be launched without you pressing any button. And the fourth option in this productivity tool, is the incrementation. So this is for laboratories that use a unique sample ID for each of their sample. When they activate this option and they put a sample ID for a sample, for all the next cycle, for each cycle, this number will be incremented. So you don't need to re-enter the sample ID every time that you do a deletion. So again, a gain of time and a gain in productivity.
Okay. I don't know about you, but I really want to see in real.
Yeah, okay. So it's good because we have a salmon to dilute.
Yeah.
So I will activate auto tar and auto start and the incrementation. And for this sample, I will give it a sample ID. Let's call it ABE1 and validate. So here I have my sample ID. I can see with these little icons that I have my auto start activated and my auto tar activated. So I can begin my dilution. As we done earlier, I will put my bag. And as you can see, it's automatically tar.
Okay.
So now I put my sample, which is my salmon. I hope I will be within my range.
You will be. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It turned green, the dilution. I didn't have even to press a button. It's launched. So now the dilution is ongoing. So the whole dilution was done without me pressing any button. I just need to put my bag, put my sample, and the dilution is launched.
Okay, so it's very good for the productivity.
Exactly. And now I can remove my bag and take the opportunity to show you the incrementation. So as I told you, it was ABE1. And now we can see that it's for the next sample, it's ABE2.
Okay, perfect. So you talked about sample. Yeah, we see now. So we talked about sample number and things like that. So what information can be saved on the DILUWEL UP, and how can you access to all this traceability?
Yeah, that's true that I talk about sample ID because more and more laboratories are interested in traceability. And in the DILUWEL UP, you can manage all your traceability of your dilution. So we saw that we have the sample ID, but also you can have the traceability of the users. So if we go back to the equipment, I can show you the user menu. So just here. And in this user menu, I can create and manage my user to follow the traceability. So if I connect myself.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, connecting myself.
Nice to meet you.
If I connect myself, I can, all the activity that will be done on this dilutor will be linked to my user profile. The information that will be saved are the cycles, the program used, the weight of each of the sample, the diluent that was dispensed, the tolerance, and all information regarding the cycle. And also other information that we can trace with the DILUWEL UP is everything related to the metrology, so the calibration, but also all your daily verification. That you can find this information in two ways, actually. The first way is simply by USB key. Okay. So behind the DILUWEL, you have USB connectors where you can plug your USB key. And as soon as you plug it, everything that you will do after on the DILUWEL will be automatically extracted and stored in the USB key. The second option is to consult all this information on the lab page. So the lab page is actually a portal, and this portal is linked to your equipment. And all the information since the installation of your equipment will be stored on the lab page. But actually, Sylvain, I wanted to show you this lab page, so I open a tab on your computer. Okay. Maybe you can share your screen, please?
Yeah, sure. Oh, sorry.
That's not the page.
But that's, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here.
Okay, thank you, Sylvain, for sharing the lab page. So you have here all the information of the DILUWEL. We have two tabs. The first tab is the analysis tab, and you can see all the lines, and each line corresponds to a cycle. You can see that if you click on the calendar, you can actually choose a certain period of time and define at what period you want to see the result, and you will have all the data that you need. If we go to the second tab, which is the metrology, you will find all the calibration and also all your daily verification very easily to be extracted.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Ines. And I have another question about concentrated culture media. Because nowadays, some laboratories are interested in concentrated culture media. Can they use them with the DILUWEL UP?
Yeah, that's true. It's very interesting concentrated culture media. If you take the example of the 10x concentrated culture media, if you have MIXWEL 10, you can use that to manufacture up to 100-liter culture media just with the MIXWEL 10. So, of course, this is really a topic of interest for the laboratory. But then how to use it for your dilution? Actually, the DILUWEL can do the reconstitution of your media directly during the dilution. So you can totally use it with your DILUWEL UP. So how does it work? It's very simple. You have two pumps. And if you do, for example, 10x media, you will have one pump that will deliver the 9 volume of water, and one pump that will deliver 1 volume of concentrated media. Okay,
and all of this is also traced?
Yes, of course, Sylvain. Not only is traced, but it's very important for concentrated culture media. Of course, you have the basic information that the base information that we discussed earlier. But on top of that, with the concentrated culture media, so you have the sample weight, but you have the weight, the volume of the sample of the water that you pour, the volume of the concentrated media that was poured. All of that because there is a scale included with the DILUWEL. So you can measure all of this and then deduce from that your reconstitution ratio. And all these information are key because when you use concentrated culture media, you need to know all that to be compliant with the norm, especially the ISO 6887.
So finally, DILUWEL plus MIXWEL, it's the perfect combo.
You said that. I didn't.
Another topic, also very important. We know that musculoskeletal disorders is an important issue for laboratories. So, what can you tell us about the ergonomy of the device?
Yeah, indeed, musculoskeletal disorders are very important for laboratory, And that is why the design, the concept of the DILUWEL was done with the operator in mind. So what does it mean? It means that the whole design and the whole concept is made to limit this disorder. So the first thing that we can see is that, as I said earlier, all the information are at eyesight level. It means that you don't need actually to look into the dispensing and then the screen and go back and forth. Okay. So you avoid moving your neck too much, so you avoid the musculoskeletal disorder. You have the color code here. You know when the DILUWEL is on hold, like now. When it's ongoing, it's blue. When it's green, it means that you're okay. So you can do everything with just looking at this part. Also, what we can see is how to reach for the DILUWEL. So first, you have how to put a sample in the bag. You can see that the height of the bag opening is very low. It's 29 centimeters from the bench. So the movement that you will do to put the sample is not that ample. So you keep this natural position and you avoid all this strenuous movement that will cause the musculoskeletal disorder. It's the same for the command. The command are very close to the operator, can be even closer, especially if you're under a biosafety cabinet, it needs to be closer. So you don't need to do, again, ample movement. And also, the DILUWEL is ambidextrous. So if you're right-handed or left-handed, I don't know for you, Sylvain, but anyway, you can use it.
Two left hands for me.
Ah, but you can still use it.
What about the cleaning?
For the cleaning, also very easy. So first of all, you can see the bag holder. This is all in stainless steel, so easy to clean. Same for the base of the DILUWEL. Also, you can see that it's all curved, so no corner where the dirt can hide, and so it's easy, very easy to be clean. Moreover, the DILUWEL is very light. With this bag holder, it's 8 kilos, so you can actually push it and pass exactly like this, pass a cloth, so you make sure that your bench is always very clean.
Okay, I feel better now. Okay, great. That's a good presentation, Ines. Thank you. But I think it's now time to have a user feedback also, because it's very important to have feedback from user. And we are glad to have some feedback from a DILUWEL user. She's using this diluter since almost 10 years, so it's the previous model. But yeah, it's really interesting to see what she thinks about it. And let's have a look on this testimonial and see you just right away. Hello, Mrs. Riohel. Thank you, much appreciated, for agreeing to participate in our interview.
Hello, with pleasure.
You are a laboratory technician for ISA Association, which stands for Animal Society and Food. Can you introduce us to the activities of your laboratory?
Yes, I have been a laboratory technician at ISA for 10 years. We are a non-profit association working in the field of veterinary public health. In this context, we have two main activities. We publish an atlas of slaughterhouse lesions, and for the laboratory, we are the organizer of interlaboratory comparisons. The ASA is accredited 17243 in this field, and we organize the 𝗖𝗵𝗽𝗀.
You use automated systems in your work, such as to automate the steps of dilution and grinding. In your opinion, what is the benefit of automation, for example, in your work, to clarify?
For the diluter part, for us, it's really about speed, precision, and a reduction in the risk of contamination, and the ergonomics, which are extremely important. And for the grinding part, it allows us to have a much better bacterial yield than manual homogenization. We also save time, and we are consistent. This allows us to be uniform across our samples and to always have the same treatment for the samples.
Did you do it manually as well, maybe?
It still happens to us for a very specific activity. And indeed, when we have the balance, the rack, the not so great sticky tack, the bag under the PSM, and on top of that, we have to hold a pipette buoy, a pipette, and place it above, it's absolutely not practical. With a pipette, we're not actually very precise. It tends to move a bit more. Really, we save time.
And in your personal and professional opinion, what are the various strengths and advantages of the MIXWEL and DILUWEL products that you use on a daily basis?
For the MIXWEL, it's definitely about ergonomics of its paddle. Until now, we used a conventional and traditional stomacher with flat paddles and had to grind our samples for 3 minutes for a certain type of gel sample. Since switching to using MIXWEL instead, we can achieve exactly same texture in just 1 minute. So that has really been a huge time saver for us, because when we have large batches, waiting 3 minutes to get our bag is very long. It is also very easy to clean, very practical and very compact. It doesn't take up much space on the workbenches. Additionally, it is relatively lightweight compared to other models, making it convenient to move when you need to go to the PSM or use a horizontal flow. For the DILUWEL, what we really appreciate is the ergonomics. We talked about the BSCs, and when we place it under a BSC, we are glad to have the inclined rack. It also helps to avoid any aerosols, because when weighing, since it is inclined, the sample falls below and the PT does not fall directly on the sample. Since we handle powder and want the 𝗖𝗵𝗽𝘁𝗲 to be like a classic dilution, we weigh the powder first and then the diluent. By pulling on the bag, the powder is isolated, the diluent falls over it, and prevents the powder from rising back up. We also like the visual indicator, alert. It allows you to avoid looking down at the screen and to quickly see when the dilution is finished. When we received it, it surprised us, but it's obvious it has a bubble level and adjustable feet. Because we often forget that it's a scale, and the fact that it has the bubble and we can be sure it's stable really gave us confidence in the machine.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Riel, for this testimony, and I will see you very soon.
See you very soon.
So thanks again to Mrs. Riel for this testimonial. And now I think it's time to play Who Wants to Be a Microbiologist? So, how fast can you dilute a 20-gram sample to the 10th with the DILUWEL UP? A, in 8 seconds, B, in 9 seconds, C, in 10 seconds, or D, in 11 seconds. To play, just answer A, B, C, or D in the chat box, and we will proceed to a lottery at the end of the live to make you win what you will win. Okay. This jersey from ABE to be part of the ABE team. So good luck, everybody. And remember, it's really fast. So let's go back, Ines. If we go back to the sample you diluted at the start, what will happen to it now?
Okay, so I can show you what happened with the step of homogenization. So we said earlier that it's very important to make sure that we have reliable results, that our sample is well homogenized with a blender, for example. So let me introduce you our MIXWEL UP. So it's also part of our new UP range, and this is our new blending machine. So I will go back to take my salmon sample that we have here, and I will put the sample in the machine. I close the door. And here we go. Voila, it launched. Okay. The blending process has begun already.
So, is it adapted to all matrices?
Yes, actually, it's adapted to all matrices. It can be adapted, first of all, because the paddles can be made closer to the door to make sure that you adapt to your matrix, if it's a hard matrix or soft or big or smaller. But you can adjust the paddles to the door. The second point also is that you can choose the strength of your blending and also the duration of this blending. So it can be adapted to this matrix or to any matrix. The third point is that we use a patented pendular system with the curved paddle, and it helps to have better performances for matrices. So of course it's better for all matrices.
Okay, so now it's green, so it's finished?
Yeah, it's finished. So I can show you the result of our sample. So here you have it. I don't know if you can see well. I put it at 30 seconds in the MIXWEL, and we can see that it's well blended.
Okay, can you tell us a bit more about this pendular system, as you said?
Yes, sure. So as I said earlier, the paddle of the MIXWEL are curved, and if we compare it to the classical, let's say, classical blending blender process, it will be straight away, you know, paddle will go straight away. In our case, the paddles, we go in a movement like this, a bit like a nutcracker, and this movement will allow to have a better pressure. You focus, Sylvain?
Yeah.
A better pressure on our sample and go up to 70 kilo per paddle. So you have more performant blending.
Okay, can you explain how to clean the MIXWEL UP? Because it's also very important.
Yeah, we know that it's important to clean easily and well our blender. So first of all, what I can show you is that you can easily remove the door just like that. And what we can see is that the door is actually a tank, a container for up to 400 milliliters of liquid. So it means that if your bag breaks, which can happen, unfortunately in laboratory, this is true, it can happen. It depends on the quality of your bag, but if it happens, no worry, because it will be contained in the door. You just have to remove it, and then you can go somewhere to clean it easily. So I can remove it, clean it easily, and so I have a first access to the chamber. But even more, I can actually remove completely the paddles. And you can see that you can clean it very easily because you can remove it. And you also have a full access. And I see that you like to clean, so you can see. You have a full access to the chamber, so you can clean it thoroughly without any issue.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Ines. So I guess we have finished presenting our new range of products.
I'm sorry, Sylvain, but no, not at all. We have not 2 instruments in our new range, but we have actually 3 instruments. And actually, if you look into your left, this is the DOSYWEL UP. So this is a peristatic pump. And as you can see, it has a small footprint, very easily integrated into a bench, and very light. I can see that you are...
Can I clean it?
You can clean it under also. It's only 3 kilos. This is what it will do is volumetric dosage, and this volumetric dosage will be done with the same interface, the same OS than the DILUWEL. So you can see that you can create program the same way. You can see that you can create user also the same way, and you can connect the pump to the lab page or have the traceability extracted by USB key as the DILUWEL. So all your traceability, your cycle, your program, etc.
Okay. Okay. Can you show us how is it working actually?
Actually, Sylvain, it's a lot for today. I think I propose to you that we keep that for another live and maybe with more surprise.
Okay, that's a really good idea. So stay tuned for this new online session in the future. So is it time to announce the winner? No, maybe we can see if there are some questions. No, it's okay. Bertin is good. It's really fast. So I think it's time to announce the winner of the game. So who is the super winner? Mafalda. Congratulations, Mafalda. Yeah.
Congrats, Mafalda.
Okay, so you still have a bit of time to ask questions, and don't worry, you can ask, and if we can answer now, and we can also answer a bit later, so don't hesitate. It's time now to end this session. Thank you very much, Ines. It was a good first online session.
Thank you, Sylvain.
And thank you, all of you, for your time. Sorry, I lost my English. Don't forget to. Our team of microbiologists will be happy to discuss your needs with you. And here, this studio is also designed for you. We can give private demonstration of all our products. We also have a range of products for the media preparation. We also have air sampling products, as well as a whole range of culture media and consumables. So don't hesitate to contact us or your local distributor if you want a private demonstration. So Ines, thank you, and bye-bye everybody, and see you really soon.
Thank
Bye.
you.